Welcome back to Sandy's house, where ingredients and taste meet. As you can see, we have a guest. Of course, we have B with us. The show wouldn't be the show without B. And we have Greg Harris with us. Greg was a student at Aloni when I worked there. What, about eight, 9 years ago? And he worked in our office while he was taking classes, and we got to know each other pretty well. And I was just always so impressed with Greg is a single father of three. And I was just so impressed with what he was doing to not only better his life, but to be an example for his children of what they could do with their lives. And he's just a great guy. And I really enjoyed meeting him. And so I wanted to invite him on the show today to talk about being a single dad. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, Greg, was like, what were some of the challenges you faced during that time, trying to juggle family and school and work? He didn't work in our office the entire time he was in school, but he was one of our student workers for a while.
It was hard. Thank God I had a good family, a lot of family that gave me a lot of support. Because it's not out there for men. For women,
wow.
You can find daycare for kids, you can find neighbors that help.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a single dad, though, it doesn't really work like that.
Wow, really?
Why doesn't it work like that for dads?
I don't know, because society is geared for women to have kids, not men to have kids.
So that was some.
So if you look at it, even the WIC program, that is women and children. It's not parents and children. So they just cut the dad right out of the picture.
Wow. One thing I've never said to students was, because I completed my education, often people say, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's not always the case, because it depends on your support system. There are a lot of variables that contribute to what you're able to do and achieve. So that was one thing that I really refrained from saying to people then and now. Just because I did it doesn't mean that someone else can do it. But what I can say, if you want it bad enough and you believe in yourself, you can do it. It may take you a while to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve, but you just plug away at it. It's one of my good friends, Spurgeon Hunt says, it's the belief of momentum. The belief of momentum. If you hang in there and you don't give up and you take one class at a time, you'll get there. You'll get to the finish line. It might not be as fast as you'd like to, but with that belief of momentum, thank you, Spurgeon, for that, because that has really helped me in my life to kind of relax and give myself permission to be wherever I am to do. And that's what I saw in you, Greg, when you were at Aloni, just taking it one step at a time, trying to be the best dad you could possibly be, the best example you could possibly be. And that really stood out, something that stood out to me. One of the other things I wanted to ask you is, have you encountered any stereotypes or misconceptions about being a single dad or a single parent?
Well, a couple that come to mind is I moved into an apartment in Fremont. And, the landlady asked me if I could prove my kids were mine. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, outright asked me that. Called me that night and apologized for the question, but still asked the question.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate you being here with us. I've seen some of Greg's food on Facebook, and he is an amazing cook. And I invited him to come and cook with us today. And so we are going to be preparing Lobster Thermidor and garlic noodles. Lobster Thermidor, have either of you had it?
I have not had lobster thermidor.
I had it in my mind. No, I haven't had it.
So, Lobster Thermidor is a rich, flavorful, and delicious French dish that's made with lobster meat. And you all out there know I'm a little extra, so I'm gonna put my spin on it. We're gonna add some shrimp to ours, and it's cooked in a cream sauce and then put back into the lobster shell, baked off, and then topped with Parmesan cheese. We're mixing our Parmesan and panko, so we'll top it with that, throw it in the oven, let it get all nice, bubbly, and brown, and then we've got Lobster Thermidor. It is an amazing, amazing dish.
Is the lobster tough?
The lobster is not tough. The lobster is very tender.
Oh, okay.
You're going to enjoy it, trust me.
We'll see.
So with MBs, we'll see. Let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna get MB started on making the garlic noodles. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna make the garlic sauce first, and then she's gonna add a little bit of sauce to her noodles, taste them, make sure that we don't wanna over season them, because once you add salt or whatever kind of seasoning agent, you get something too salty, it's hard to take it out. So sometimes it's better to just add a little bit at a time, and you may or may not use all of the seasoning. So she's gonna add 1 tablespoon, so half of that butter, 1 tablespoon of butter into, and I'm gonna help her out a little bit, y'all.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
We're gonna turn this on a medium low. And she added about a tablespoon of butter to a pan, and once that melts, she's gonna add a tablespoon of garlic paste. You can use fresh garlic. I chose to use garlic paste because I didn't feel like chopping up all those garlics. So she's gonna add a tablespoon of garlic paste, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, a tablespoon of fish sauce, and a tablespoon of brown sugar.
Okay.
You can, actually, I would add just a little bit more butter. I don't think that was a complete tablespoon.
Well, why not add it all?
Because we don't want all of it. We just want a tablespoon. Okay. That's a little bit more than a tablespoon, but it's okay.
Look, I got to
Eyeball it.
yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, once that completely melts,
Okay, I hear you.
then you're gonna add your
This.
mhm.
And what is this?
This is garlic paste.
Paste.
This can be found in the produce section at the grocery store.
I use all of
You
it.
can use all of that. Okay, so she's gonna add all of her ingredients and bring that to a simmer. And then she's gonna go over here, grab her noodles, add a little bit at a time, mix it all up, taste it, see if it's good. Greg and I can help you taste it.
Gotcha. I
Okay.
got. Well, I got
While
it.
AB is
I got
working
this.
on the garlic noodles, Greg and I are gonna get started on our sauce for the Lobster Thermidor. Okay, so Greg and I are gonna get started on our cream sauce for the Lobster Thermidor. He's gonna start with putting, this is a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. And put that in the pan. And then he's gonna add a 1/4 cup of shallots there. Let's let it kind of heat up a little bit, Greg. Once it heats up, he's gonna add a 1/4 cup of shallots, a 1/3 cup of green onions, and just before we add our white wine, he's gonna add the garlic. I always add my garlic at the end because garlic can burn really, really quickly. And once it burns, you have to throw out whatever it is you're cooking, start over. However, I've seen some people just continue, but it just makes you bitter. Burnt garlic is not good. So you don't want to burn it, and that's why we've got on a sort of a low medium heat here. I'll saute these up. Now, for a lot of Lobster Thermidor recipes, once they've sauteed their vegetables, and some people add mushrooms, we didn't add mushrooms today, they add flour and then their white wine. So what we're gonna do is saute all of our veggies in here. We're gonna switch pans. We're gonna make a bechamel. Bechamel is a sauce. A lot of people use it to make mac and cheese. It's one of the mother sauces. There are 5 mother sauces. And mother sauces are the foundation of a sauce that's used in a lot of different dishes. There's the bechamel, there's hollandaise, there's espanol, there's one that starts with a V, and then there's a tomato sauce. So you're gonna add half, just a little bit, just put a little bit in there, and then take your tongs, and then just,
Okay.
I'm gonna do it
All
for
right,
you.
go ahead.
Yeah, you got it?
I got
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. Okay, so we're ready, Greg. You go ahead and add your
I'm
shallots.
sorry, sir, for interfering.
You're fine.
Okay, and the green onion. And I would turn off the heat. Don't want it to burn.
Is it good?
It's not enough salt.
Well, you want to taste it because that oyster sauce is salty. Yeah, it's very, and the fish sauce is salty. So it's more sauce than you realize.
But really, what's going to happen, sir, the cream sauce you guys make it, is what's going to.
No, this cream sauce is gonna go. We're gonna mix our lobster in this, add it to the lobster shell.
What is it going to come?
We're gonna plate the Thermidor on top of that. Taste it. You'll see what I'm saying. Taste it. Like, let's go ahead and add. We have more garlic paste here. We're gonna add. That's about a tablespoon of garlic paste. Now, AB, you have some Parmesan cheese over there.
Right.
You can add that. And then we have 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic. So what we have here is we're making a bechamel sauce. We have about 2.5 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour. And Greg is just kind of mixing this up because we want to cook that flour taste out before we add our cream. We're going to add 3/4 cups of cream to this. We've got about a 1/4 cup of white wine. You can use any white wine. Just use something that you would drink, not that like cooking sherry stuff. Use a real wine, whether it's red or white, but use something that you would drink. So we're gonna
have a kick to it, huh?
Well, not a kick. Not a kick. We're going for flavor, not kick. I'm gonna add this to our veggies here and just kind of let them soak up this wine. That's gonna add such a great taste to our Thermidor sauce. And what you want to do is you want the vegetables to absorb all of that wine. Otherwise, you'll have this like wine forward flavor. Some people like that, and if that's your prerogative, hey, go for it. I like it to absorb in my vegetables, so I tend to cook this until there's no liquid in the pan.
I can tell you've been cooking. You like to post slow.
He's adding a little bit at a time.
That'd been me. I would just dump the whole thing without you.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth because I want to loosen that up a little bit.
My little sister complained about lumpy gravy one time.
Oh, really?
It's my gravy.
Oh, so that's why you do it slow for you.
So this isn't in the recipe, but the sauce is a little thicker than I want it to be. So we're gonna add a little chicken broth to loosen that up. You see how that loosens it up a bit? Don't be afraid to deviate from your recipe. Yeah, so we want this nice and creamy. We don't want it chunky. And then somebody's out there asking, well, could you just add more cream? Yes, you could add more cream, but adding the chicken broth is also gonna add more flavor as well.
If you add more cream, it'll make it more creamy instead of.
Well, it's gonna be nice and creamy.
But you wanted to loosen up some.
It was too thick,
Yeah.
right? So it was kind of chunky. I don't want it chunky. I need it loose and creamy. So what Greg's gonna do now is just kind of cook it down I'm gonna add a teaspoon of lemon juice in our vegetables back here. So what's gonna happen is once Greg gets this, oh, sorry Greg, I think I turned you off. Once Greg gets this gravy, a nice thick consistency. We wanted a thick consistency, but we don't want it chunky. It was chunky before.
Yeah.
We're gonna add our vegetables into the bechamel, and then we're gonna add our roasted shrimp and lobster. What we did earlier, just to save some time, we had 2 lobsters and 10 ounces of shrimp. And some recipes call you to boil them. I didn't want to boil them. I wanted to roast them because you know me. But I'm extra. So what we did was I took the lobster and cut it in half, removed the meat, and we cleaned both the shrimp and the lobster, and then we brushed it with olive oil and seasoned it with mustard powder, garlic powder, and pepper. Put it in the oven for about 7 minutes. When you're roasting, you want to make sure that your protein or whatever it is, vegetables or whatever it is nice and dry and at room temperature. So you want to take it out of the refrigerator probably about 30 minutes before you're ready to cook it, and you'll roast it. Otherwise, the liquid, if there's liquid in your meat or your vegetables, it will steam and not roast, and we wanted to roast these. So look at that, isn't that nice and silky? Yeah. So once that gets a little bit thicker, Greg's gonna add our veggies in there. Then we're gonna fold in our lobster and our shrimp and some parsley. We'll taste it. I have a little bit of Old Bay here if we need it, and we've got some Parmesan cheese. And then we're ready for the next step. We're gonna add our veggies in here. This was the shallots, the green onions, the garlic, and we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. This is about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Now we're gonna turn this off. We've got quite a bit of lobster and shrimp, and I don't think that we're gonna need all of it. So I'm gonna help you out, Greg.
Well, I want to taste that shrimp.
What do you think? That's good, huh? Do we need any Old Bay? You guys think we need a touch of Old Bay in it?
I think it's all right either way.
Either way?
Absolutely.
What do you think? You need a touch of Old Bay or no?
No, leave it like it is.
Leave it like it is? Okay.
Leave it like it is.
All right. Our cream sauce is done. We've got our lobster, our shrimp. We've got garlic, green onions, shallots, garlic paste, and a bechamel sauce. And let me tell you something. This is delicious, right?
You might know what you're doing.
Thank you. Say it again, AB. Say it again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill our lobster shells. Remember I told you I had 2 lobsters and I cut them in half? And so this is what it looks like when you cut them in half. And you don't want to throw these away. You want to keep these because this is part of what's going to make this dish so beautiful when you plate it. This is like a date night. If you've got your in-laws coming and you want to impress somebody, this is a great dish. And as you can see, it wasn't very hard at all, was it?
No,
Not hard at all. No. So Greg's gonna take his little scooper and fill these up. And like I said, you can add mushrooms to this if that's your. Put a little bit there, Greg. If that's your thing, you can add spinach. You can roast your lobster and your shrimp. You can poach them. You can boil them. It is your choice. So everybody, this is how we do it at Sandy's house. This is Lobster Thermidor. And I want to thank Greg for being with us today. And Greg, do you have any parting words for our audience?
Just thank you for inviting me. I've had such a great time. It's been a pleasure to be here with you.
Awesome.
It's been so nice to meet you, Amy.
Thank you. Same here, baby.
And B, do you have any parting words?
Bye.
Listen, everybody, I want to leave you with this blessing. May the Lord bless and protect you. May the Lord shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and his peace. Thank you for joining us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. We are about to get into it.
All right.
Peace.
Now we have to give it away. It's delicious.